is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. Questions about the sale of the Grand Lucayan coming from the Leader of the Opposition. And the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas says they cut a F&M candidate because he started talking about politics on the radio. We're getting your views today on what's in the news. That's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Chester Robards filling in for Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up today.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Wednesday, August 6th, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, and I'm Chester Robards filling in for Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Beijing Rogers will be joining us as a co-host for the first time. But first, it's time to talk about what was in the overnight. The latest breaking news from while you were sleeping in the top national and international headlines this morning. And in the overnight, Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard said yesterday that the government owes it to the public to give full disclosure on the redevelopment of the Grand Lucayan Resort and whether the sale was funded the Davis administration for keeping Bahamians in the dark over the status of the resort. He said, quote, "While we are constantly pulling for the government to succeed on these programs related to the airport, related to the hotel, we want the deals to go through, but this government is consistently omitting details," he said. They love to do business in the dark rather than in the full light. In May, the administration agreed to sell the Grand Lucayan Resort in Grand Bahama for $120 million to a Bahamian subsidiary of a U.S.-based real estate and hospitality developer, Concord Wilshire Capital. Concord Wilshire Capital's senior managing director of cruise ship resorts, Adam Petrillo, however, recently said the redevelopment of Grand Bahama Airport will determine the schedule for the completion of the Grand Lucayan Resort. And the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas admitted yesterday that it prematurely ended a talk show with the Free National Movement candidate because he started talking about politics and did not stick to the focus of the show. The FNM's candidate for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Omar, a guest on Power 104.5 FM's man-to-man conversation in Grand Bahama last week, Wednesday. Isaacs reported that show hosts ended the interview early due to concerns about political commentary. Following the incident, FNM Deputy Leader Shandon Cartwright called the BCB's action undemocratic and offensive and accused the corporation of censorship, demanding an apology. A 28-year-old man on Tuesday was charged with the murder of a man who was fetching water from a pump, and a 26-year-old was accused of attempting to take another man's life on the street. Prosecutors allege that Jermaine Newless of Mason Lane gunned down Jimmy Lorenville on West Street on July 18th. Lorenville, 32, was at the pump when the occupants of a dark-colored car opened fire on him following an exchange of words. Newless, who is represented by Ian Cargill, was not required to enter a plea to the murder charge when he made this initial court appearance before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley. He was denied bail and the matter was adjourned to November 27th for the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. Also appearing in the same court was 26-year-old Alvin Morley Jr. of attempted murder and possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life stemming from a July 26th shooting in Montel Heights. Prosecutors allege that Morley chased behind a car on a motorbike and opened fire, injuring Bertram Paul. Morley was not required to enter a plea and was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. The matter was adjourned to November 27th for the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. He was also represented by Cargill. And the country's financial intelligence unit has seen a rise in fraudulent activity in the last 3 to 4 years. Legal counsel at the FIU, Joanne Fritz-Creary, told the media yesterday, explaining that the Bahamas is anti-money laundering, The Bahamas' anti-money laundering and countering the financing of terrorism regime remains strong and in good standing with international regulatory bodies. In international news, the Department of Health and Human Services will cancel contracts and pull funding to fight respiratory viruses like COVID-19 and the flu. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced in a statement Tuesday that 22 projects totaling $500 million to develop vaccines using mRNA technology will be halted. Kennedy's decision to terminate the projects is the latest in a string of decisions that have put the longtime vaccine critics' doubts about shots into full effect at the nation's health department. Kennedy has pulled back recommendations around the COVID-19 shots, fired the panel that makes vaccine recommendations, and refused to offer a vigorous endorsement of vaccinations as a measles outbreak worsens. The health secretary criticized mRNA vaccines in a video on his social media accounts, explaining the decision to cancel projects being led by the nation's leading pharmaceutical companies, including Pfizer and Moderna, that offer protection against viruses like the flu, COVID-19, and H5N1. He said, quote, "To replace the troubled mRNA programs, we're prioritizing the development of safer, broader vaccine strategies like whole virus vaccines and novel platforms that don't collapse when viruses mutate," he said in the video. And Netanyahu hinting at expanded war in Gaza. Former Israeli military and spy chiefs object. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Tuesday hinted at the wider military action, even as foreign intelligence chiefs call for an end to the nearly 22-month war. The new pressure on Netanyahu came as Gaza's health ministry said the Palestinian death toll had surpassed 61,000 people. Health officials reported new deaths of hungry Palestinians seeking food at distribution points. As desperation mounts, the Israeli defense body coordinating aid announced a deal with local merchants to improve aid deliveries. Among those speaking out were former leaders of Israel's Shin Bet Internal Security Service, Mossad spy agency, and the military, and also ex-Prime Minister Ehud Barak. In a video posted to social media this week, they said far-right members of the government are holding Israel hostage in prolonging the conflict. Netanyahu's objectives in Gaza are, quote, a fantasy, Yoram Cohen, former head of Shin Bet, said in the video. Let's turn our attention to sports now. And the Bahamas is continuing to make a strong statement in team tennis in the region, taking down Antigua and Barbuda in Group B competition of the Davis Cup Americas Group 4 tournament at the National Racket Sports Center in Tacarigua, Trinidad and Tobago on Tuesday. The Bahamas won 3-0 over their regional peers, winning both singles matches and the doubles matches. In the first match, Dante Umbrister wasted little time with DeAndre Weeks, winning in straight sets 6-0 and 6-0. It was a historic win for the 23-year-old Bahamian as he got his first ever win in singles in Davis Cup play. He is now 1-2 in singles and has a 2-7 win-loss record in doubles overall. In the second match, the Bahamas' number one seeded player Denali Nodic had a tougher time but came through nonetheless. Winning in 3 sets, he prevailed over Jody McGinley's 6-3, 4-6, and 6-4 to clinch the tie for the Bahamas. And the Bahamas under-15 boys national soccer team opened its 2025 CONCACAF under-15 boys championship campaign on Monday afternoon with a Group H matchup against Bonaire at the Stadion Regional Jean Francisca in Willemstad, Curaçao. Despite a determined effort, the Bahamas fell 5-1 in the tournament opener. Forward Dirk Simmons scored the team's lone goal, putting his name on the score sheet early in the Bahamas played Dominica in its second group stage match on Tuesday and lost that match as well, falling 2-1. The Bahamas plays out of Group H League C with Bonaire, Dominica, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Underboys 15 national squad plays St. Vincent and the Grenadines at 4 p.m. today. And following a season-high 4-game losing streak, Bahamian professional women's basketball player Jonquel J.J. Jones and the New York Liberty have returned to their winning ways. They won their second straight game on Tuesday, taking down the Dallas Wings 85-76 at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Overseas, Son Heung-min agreed to a contract with the Los Angeles Football Club on Tuesday, finalizing his move to Major League Soccer after a decade at Tottenham Hotspur. The 33-year-old South Korean superstar forward is joining LAFC 3 days after he formally announced his decision to leave Tottenham. Son attended LAFC's League's Cup match against Tigres at BMO Stadium on Tuesday night. Watching from a luxury, LAFC will formally introduce Son at a news conference Wednesday, but the club showed the forward on the stadium video board late in the first half as he waved to roaring fans thrilled by their team's landmark acquisition. And Aaron Judge returns to the lineup at DH as the Yankees wait for clarity on his throwing arm. Aaron Judge was back in the lineup as the designated hitter for the New York Yankees on Tuesday night, following a 10-day stint on the injured list with a flexor tendon strain in his right elbow. There's still no clarity on whether the all-star slugger will return to the outfield. Judge went 0-3, batting third in a 2-0 loss for the Texas Rangers. Manager Aaron Boone said Judge is supposed to start a throwing program Wednesday. Boone all but ruled out Judge returning to the outfield as early as the next couple of days. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at today's weather. And it's time for your forecast for today. There is a marginal threat of isolated strong to possibly severe thunderstorms across the northwest and central Bahamas later today. The public is urged to keep updated on all severe weather warnings issued by the Bahamas Department of Meteorology. Your general situation, showers and thunderstorms associated with deep layered troughing over the central Bahamas will produce unsettled weather over the area as it migrates northwestward into the northwest Bahamas later today. An unsettled weather pattern will persist across the northern half of the country into the weekend as troughing and deep tropical moisture lingers over the area. Meanwhile, the southeast Bahamas will experience gradual clearing into Thursday as high pressure builds across the area. In special weather notes, flooding. There is an increased risk for flooding during heavy and prolonged rainfall events in the northwest central Bahamas and portions of the southeast Bahamas. In these areas should exercise caution, especially those living in low-lying and flood-prone areas. Heat and UV index for the northern and northwest Bahamas. The public is urged to remain hydrated, wear light-colored clothing, sunglasses, and sunscreen, and limit prolonged outdoor exposure to the sun, as UV indices are expected to remain in the very high to extreme range, and heat indices in the upper 90s to triple digits. There is a slight to moderate risk for rip currents along north and east coast facing beaches in the southeast Bahamas. Mariners should remain vigilant for funnel cloud formation and or waterspout activity. For the northern Bahamas, weather partly cloudy to cloudy through tonight. A 20 to 40% chance of isolated showers and thunderstorms, increasing 40 to 60% by late afternoon into tonight. Some thunderstorms may be strong to severe at times. Winds northeast to east at 10 knots today, increasing 10 to 15 knots tonight. Your high temperature today, around 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Could feel as high as 10 degrees. In the northwest Bahamas, weather partly cloudy to cloudy through tonight. Your chance of an isolated shower or thunderstorm, 20 to 40%, increasing 40 to 60% by late afternoon into tonight. Some thunderstorms may be strong to severe at times. Winds east-northeast to east-southeast at 10 to 15 knots through tonight. Your temperature range between 82 degrees Fahrenheit today up to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. For the central Bahamas, weather partly cloudy to cloudy, a 40 to 60% chance of scattered showers with isolated thunderstorms. Winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Your high temperatures between 78 degrees Fahrenheit and 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And for the southeast Bahamas, weather partly cloudy to cloudy, a 40 to 60% chance of widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, decreasing to 20% by late afternoon. Winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, slightly higher gusts. And your temperature range 78 degrees Fahrenheit up to 100 Fahrenheit. We'll have an extended forecast for you later in the show. That's when Morning Blend returns right after this.
With RBC,
your ideas become plans.
Your plans become memories.
This is retirement.
And your dreams become your life.
whether it's planning that family vacation, owning your dream home, or retiring comfortably, your ideas are everything. And RBC is here to help make them happen. With RBC, your ideas happen here.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free onstats, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
When it comes to hearts at Cleveland Clinic, you can't miss a beat. You seek the best care possible, work with the brightest minds, and leave no stone unturned to get to the heart of the matter. Because understanding is always the first step to overcoming. Heart in the world. See how we're advancing the future of heart care at Cleveland Clinic today.
Spring into savings at Robert's Furniture with appliance combos that work for your home and your pocket. GE 18 cubic feet fridge and stove, only $15.99. Visit our linen department where 100% cotton towels start at just $2. Take advantage of the long summer evenings with Panama Jack patio furniture and save 25%. Or how about a free box spring with any orthopedic mattress purchase? And with salary deductions, layaway, and the gift registry, there's a payment option to suit every budget. Robert's Furniture, quality, comfort, style, 5th Terrace, Centerville. 322-8862. Like us on Facebook.
This October, Bahama invites you to indulge your senses at the Culinary and Arts Festival, where world-class flavors meet breathtaking creativity in the heart of the Bahamas. Join us October 22nd through 26th for an unforgettable celebration featuring culinary legends Marcus Samuelson, Dario Cicchini, Simeon Hall Jr., and Scott Conant, alongside a vibrant lineup of chefs and mixologists. Explore captivating art installations, interactive workshops, and live performances, all set a backdrop of Nassau's premier luxury resort. From curated tasting events to beachfront feasts and immersive gallery experiences, this is more than a festival. It's a feast for the soul. Tickets and packages are going fast. Visit bahamar.com to reserve your spot at the Culinary and Arts Festival at Bahamar, where taste and talent take center stage.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on www.guardiantalkradio.com and the Guardian Radio app for your smart devices, and on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 or BTC Flow Channel 612. We're all over social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm Chester Lards. Joining me, Beijing Rogers.
Good morning.
Your surprise co-host for today.
Yeah.
Ricardo Wells was supposed to join us. Thanks, Ricardo, for getting up and coming out, but there was some wires crossed there.
Well, you're stuck with me.
I appreciate it. Exactly. You can join our conversation today. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or follow the hashtag MorningBlend. And be sure to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Leave your comments and read what others are saying about topics on the show. You can email us at morningblend@nascar.com, or you can text us on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC. Text us at 422-GR96, that's 96. Standard text rates apply. The Guardian. Also coming up this morning, more weather and traffic. We have business news coming up this morning at 9 a.m. But first, it's time to talk about what's in the news. And in the news, our headline this morning is the Grand Lucayan sale finalized. Well, I mean, is it? Is it not? There is an article in the Nassau Guardian this morning asking that question. I mean, nothing that Michael Pintard, leader of the FNM, has not said before. Really just lambasting the Davis administration, he's saying, for keeping Bahamians in the dark over the status of the resort. We did hear from one of the people in with the development, with the new development, and he was on, I think, ZNS, interviewed them, and he says there are challenges because we are still waiting. That's what he told ZNS News during a recent interview in Miami. So Pintard says in this article, it is clear that the airport and hotel are tied to each other, noting that airlift would be needed to support the resort, and that investments on the ground on Grand Bahama help to justify the spending to redevelop the airport. It says they are tied very closely together. They should have been moving on parallel tracks toward the finish line. However, Pintard said the public has been left in the dark with respect to the details of both projects. He says, quote, they are accustomed to doing deals in the margins, just giving the public the bare minimum, he said. He also called on the government to advise whether it has asked Concord Wilshire to help fund the airport's redevelopment. He says, quote, it is our understanding that this government has reached out to the very same investors and asked them to borrow funds in order to proceed with the airport. He said, quote, we want to know whether that is factual or not. Very interesting. Very interesting. He also questioned whether the $120 million sale price that was quoted by the government was only for the purchase of the resort or whether it included estimates for investments to redevelop the airport. And he says, quote, that may be the kind of act they are doing, that there's some portion in cash, some portion in kind. They should be upfront and honest with the public. Right. So interesting. So I mean, again, we have no idea the details of the deal. You know, we want to see Grand Bahama revived and redeveloped. We want to see the airport going for sure because, you know, Beijing has to take a whole ton of people over there for her Jesus March. So they need a comfortable airport to go through. But we don't know any of the details about the deal with Concord Wilshire. What I do know, though, is that Adam Petrillo is the Concord Wilshire Capital's Senior Managing Director of Cruise Ship Resorts. Cruise ship resorts. So part of the whole deal to redevelop the Grand Lucayan has to do with some cruise component, right? For, I assume, people on cruise ships to come to this newly redeveloped thing with outdoor casinos and all sorts of amenities for cruise ship visitors. And they did talk about redeveloping in stages. I'm pretty sure that's what they said. So the cruise ship man talking about airlift. I'm just saying. He don't need to talk about airlift because his people coming by sea, right? I'm just saying. It's a little strange to me. Not that it's strange, but he didn't mention anything about it. He said, we can start our part of the resort because they come in by boat. They come in by plane. My head. So, what do y'all think? I don't know. It's I don't know. We always left in these weird places when it comes to government deals.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so sad that it takes so long. for these deals to go through. Because, I mean, back in the day, we heard how booming Grand Bahama was, Grand Lucayne was. And just in my recent 3 trips back to Grand Bahama in the last 2 years, I just continue to hear stories of how prosperous, Grand Bahama was back in the day. And it's just like, what is happening,
But how did the island feel to you when you went? I mean, you didn't know it in its heyday. You didn't know it in its heyday. You said it feels depressed.
Yeah,
it
like
does,
now.
Kinda,
I mean, just it's a lot of oppression. I mean, obviously, I was there to do ministry work and evangelism, and we went to the schools and we went to the city center, and even the Grand Lucayne Hotel, and it was just dead.
Yeah,
it's just dead. And so it's just unfortunate that it just takes a lot of these things because, I mean, these people have livelihoods and, the economy, needs to be better so these persons could feel a sense of dignity and pride and,
absolutely. Absolutely. You said the right thing, dignity and pride. And they, during this whole gargantuan ceremony, they had to announce Concord Wilshire's redevelopment of the hotel. They flash all these beautiful images of what the resort will look like later, and they tell you about how things will be on the island when it comes to fruition, and it just floods people's kind of brains and souls and emotion with this hope.
Yeah, you're still,
and then nothing.
Yeah, left in the balance. Still don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Yes, and that's sad. I think that's
promises.
Sad.
Yeah,
it's understandable that things take time, but after you have a grand launch and tractors scraping,
it's expected. There's this expectation.
Yeah, and tractors scraping the sides of hotels. You want to see things continue after that. Not just silence.
Yeah.
From the developers and the government. I understand what Pintard is saying, and I understand now. The Grand Bahamians are holding their breath.
As they should.
Because they've been here before.
Exactly. Yep.
So, tough times. We got a call coming in. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Morning, Chester.
Good morning. How's it going?
Everything is good, and to your guest. She have an Oriental name?
If she has an Oriental name? So her name is Beijing.
Her name was Beijing or something like that?
Yeah, Beijing Rogers.
I always say I'm not Chinese. I'm Bahamian.
No. I can hear she is Bahamian, but that's why I said she have an Oriental name, though, because Beijing, that's Oriental, right?
Correct. Yep, it's the capital of China.
I can definitely hear you as a Bahamian, though.
That's
right. But hey, what I call to say, right? If Mr. Pintard was inside the House of Assembly advocating and pushing for our for Freedom of Information Act, right? Then some of the things that some of the things that he is requesting, right? It would have been more easily answered, right? So I believe we continue to see our politicians trying to keep the insanity level in the Bahamas high, right? Because they say if you continue doing the same thing over and over, right? That's a form of insanity, right? They are doing their extreme best to keep that level of situation happening in the Bahamas. Because the hotel and the people in Grand Bahama, it seems like these parties, they have some vendetta against them people in Grand Bahama because 5 years after 5 years after 5 years, why can't we get one island working inside this country? But you know what I believe it is? Nassau don't love to be controlled or talked down to or up to. So what Nassau is continually doing is holding these islands them as hostage, because I believe if Grand Bahama had the capacity or the ability to do their own businesses, they would have already surpassed the economic structure of Nassau and then Nassau would not have had no ability to manipulate and control them. And that's what I see this all about. You guys have a nice day.
All right, thanks for that. I mean, Freeport is controlled by an entity, so. But the rest of Grand Bahama is a different story. And Freeport is where all of this stuff is happening. The development, etc. So, this text message: is Miss Rogers the granddaughter of Pastor Rex Major? If so, how is he doing, friend? Friend, I don't know. Friend comes after the question mark. Maybe maybe they're the friend. Yes, she is the granddaughter of Pastor Rex Major.
I am the granddaughter of Pastor Rex Major, and he is doing well. He is doing well, but always prayers. Yeah. Prayers are always needed because, at the end of a great life of giving his time and talents to Christ and to the Bahamas, for that matter, you think about all the things that you did in the past,
Yeah.
And they're always welcome. So please keep Pastor Rex Major, my papa, in your prayers.
And lots of people know him and love him, have been touched by him, so that's great.
Yeah, it's an honor.
Even through y'all, they remember, they hear your name, and they're like, I know that guy.
Yeah, it's an honor.
Let's take this next call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Yes, good morning, Chester. Good morning to your wonderful guest.
Morning.
She has a radio voice automatically.
Look at that.
But I'm 61 in a couple of days, right, Chester?
52. You'll be 61.
Yes, but you do the math. So I was never a child molester, so I'm rhyming with the name, right? But just to really to the last caller to give him some upliftment, because he's one of those who's pushing for the freedom of the information. By the time we get it, it'll be Freedom of Disinformation Act, right? Mm-hmm. I kind of did agree with some of the things that the government, this current administration is criticizing the Port Authority, the Port Authority in Freeport, right? No, not the Port Authority, the Hawksbill Agreement,
yeah.
Right, and that entity, right? But what I'm afraid about is really basically simple. It's just about the Freedom of the Information Act, right? And the fact that it will continue to be the way it is when the status quo narratives and status quo continue to rule. And as long as us, the people, stay civically lazy and minded and scattered in the pasture as scattered sheep, and we don't gather in Rawson Square, they won't care. So we will continue to remain the chattering class. I don't know who all belongs to that class, right, Chester? Mm-hmm. But nothing will happen, and this is what sickens me. And so, because we I want to do like a video where I kiss a girl and she's the PLP, and then I kiss another girl and she's the FNM, and I keep going back and forth to show people how imbecilic this situation really is, right? But, what is it, Chester? It's not the government, it's us, man. That's all I want to say. Give thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. And we are the government. The government is made up of we. Mm-hmm. And the people who sit in the House of Assembly are your friends, families, lovers, husbands, wives, daughters, granddaughters. Do you tell them how disappointed you are? Or you just sit quiet till the next group take the chair? Let's take this next call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Thank you, Beijing, Seattle, and Johnson. Good morning to the Wild of the Bahamas.
Good morning.
Just let me first speak to the freedom of information. And I've heard for over a decade or plus of individuals advocating for the freedom of information. I think sometimes we must put in context what it requires for freedom of information. Laws have been passed, but we don't have an infrastructure for freedom of information in its true sense. To get a fully implementable freedom of information, you need to have a regime where data, information, whatever, can be modified, hidden, or whatever it is. And that requires digitization. We have had a lot of talk about it. We're a few months away from the second quarter of the 21st century. So that means for 25 years we've been here, not counting the years before, in preparation for that. Chester, I used to go as a media person, and you would go ask for some information. You would now sit in earnest for them to go find the boxes in the basement with the mold and mildew, and all this information to get whatever it is you're seeking, unless you're seeking current information, and then you'd have to question the authenticity of it, whether or not it will be done. And this administration already said they have no interest in freedom of information, so we could just simply wait until the next administration come in. But without digitalization, datamation, and the works, you will have no true freedom of information. Because it has to be able to be modified. We have to be able to track information. We have to be able to see emails. It's so much to be done about it. And we talk as if, though, just saying it becomes a magic pill, which brings us to the conversation we're having now concerning Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama, but I've previously called Grand Bahama, has posed a threat to the economic focus of the Bahamas. I mean, I don't call it it's not a negative. I'm just simply saying where New Providence power lies. If Grand Bahama was to be developed in its true potential, you would see the political power on New Providence dislocated. It will, because in the immediate, if you even look at the possibilities after where we've had these governments talk about 41 economic models that I can actually document, 41 economic models in the last 25 years. And every single one of them is possible. So if you could just put 1,000 people in each of those models right here on Grand Bahama, just what happens then is that, literally speaking, you're talking about 60, 70, maybe as much as 100,000 people that would leave New Providence, because housing on Grand Bahama, you could build a house on Grand Bahama on a quarter-acre property with all infrastructure, for which you could buy a half-acre of land in New Providence for.
But how quickly would that change?
In a matter of months, because what happens is that the thousands of homes that need to be built on Grand Bahama, the 15,000 bed and breakfast that needs to go along with this hotel, will actually create a construction boom in this area, in Grand Bahama, an opportunity for what is called true skill transfer in the new technologies that require to build this new city. We talk about building Grand Bahama. To have a literally one new $1 billion a year. Every year, a new $1 billion will take about 2 to 3 years to begin in earnest if we start today or the day after the next election. But when you talk about this hotel being built, those individuals that are coming for this hotel understand data, and they understand the need for the airport. The airport is just a minor part of that conversation. Just for the airport to be viable today with the $150,000 figures, we need 674,338 people per year to pass through that airport.
Mm-hmm.
I invite anyone else to do the numbers. So the question then becomes, where does this 600,000 people stay in the room nights and activities to do and everything else? And so we keep talking about, and we've been talking about this hotel from pre-2017 as if though it's supposed to be some magic pill. This hotel room is going from 1,231 rooms, if I remember the numbers correctly, to less than 400 rooms. And so again, the question then becomes, what is the strategy for Grand Bahama? If you want to talk about tourism, and I hear people talk all the time about, we need to diversify from tourism. Well, we haven't begun to touch tourism, and that's why we remain for stopover visitors at 1.8 million stopover visitors for 25 years.
Yeah.
And so even now, we must double that. And Chester, you hear the ministers and people brag about what is going on. We need more rooms. But do you know that we could double our stopover visitors right now with our current room quantity because we are not reaching the capacity? We're hitting 60%, 65% per year on average.
Yeah.
And so the question then becomes like, where is the conversation beyond just the sound good environment? And I support the fact that we should have already been given information on the Grand Lucaya, but we should be given information on Grand Bahama as a whole rather than the type environment.
We got to go to a quick a break, but I just want to ask you before you go. We talk about this very large hotel. Is there no space or appetite for like some developer to clear some new empty ground to build something like a Bahama or not that we need or want that, but
no, we do not need any more Bahama.
Yeah.
We need a new experience. What we need, we have 230 square miles of property available in Freeport, and literally almost 500 square miles available property in Grand Bahama as a whole. What we need is those 15,000 rooms that the surveys have said that we need on Grand Bahama. We need is a strategy and to embrace the new opportunities of financing. And maybe another day we'll talk about this. But right now, today, there's no problem with financing. The problem is we've been directed to the legacy system when there is billions of dollars available to Bahamians who wants $1 million or $500,000, whatever, today, not today, and they already passed a law called the DARE bill that makes it available. The problem is we pass laws and we never know who it's for or how to use it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's go to this break and we'll continue this conversation on the other side.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas.
It's time for your Morning Blend Traffic Alert, brought to you by RBC. This segment brought to you by RBC. Reaching your goals happens here. Looking at your traffic right now. Of course, schools are still closed. That's going to change soon. But right now, traffic in your hotspot areas. Looking pretty good. You have some traffic building on Milo Butler Highway. But it's still flowing at the moment. Some traffic on Gladstone Road, but that's flowing too. Traffic is building on Tonic Williams Darling Highway as you approach the Milo Butler Highway roundabout. And just past that on Tonic Williams Darling Highway. Sure the traffic police are there at the moment. There is some traffic on Independence Highway between East Street and Blue Hill Road. That's thickened already. And the traffic on East Street just south of the Blue Hill Road of the East Street roundabout is beginning to pile up. Not much to talk about in the east. As I said, schools are still closed. We'll see what's happening in the 8 o'clock hour in your Morning Blend Traffic Alert. Morning Blend Traffic Alert also brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. This traffic update brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Whether you're on the road or planning for your next move, we've got you covered. Visit nuainsurance.com for an instant motor quote or stop by your nearest branch today. And it's time for your second look at weather, brought to you by Star General. There is a marginal threat of isolated strong to possibly severe thunderstorms across the northwest and central Bahamas later today. The public is urged to keep updated on all severe weather warnings issued by the Bahamas Department of Meteorology. Showers and thunderstorms associated with deep layered troughing over the central Bahamas will produce unsettled weather over the area as it migrates northwestward into the northwest Bahamas later today. An unsettled weather pattern will persist across the northern half of the country into the weekend as troughing and deep tropical moisture lingers over the area. Meanwhile, the southeast Bahamas will experience gradual clearing into Thursday as high pressure builds across the area. Flooding, there is an increased risk for flooding during heavy and prolonged rainfall events in the northwest, central, and central Bahamas and portions of the southeast Bahamas. Residents in these areas should exercise caution, especially those living in low-lying and flood-prone areas. For the northern and northwest Bahamas, the public is urged to wear light-colored clothing, sunglasses, and sunscreen, and limit prolonged outdoor exposure to the sun, as UV indices are expected to remain in the very high to extreme range and heat indices in the upper 90s to the triple digits. There is a moderate to slight risk of rip currents along north and east coast facing beaches in the southeast Bahamas. Mariners should remain vigilant for funnel cloud formation and or water spout activity. For the northern Bahamas, weather partly cloudy to cloudy through tonight. A 20 to 40% chance of isolated showers and thunderstorms, increasing to 40 to 60% by late afternoon into tonight. Some thunderstorms may be strong to severe at times. Winds northeast to east at 10 knots today, increasing 10 to 15 knots by tonight. Your heat index from 82 degrees Fahrenheit up to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. For the northwest Bahamas, weather partly cloudy to cloudy through tonight. A 20 to 40% chance of isolated showers and thunderstorms, increasing 40 to 60% by late afternoon into tonight. Some thunderstorms may be strong to severe. It's east northeast to east southeast at 10 to 15 knots through tonight. Your heat index 82 degrees Fahrenheit up to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. For the central Bahamas, weather partly cloudy to cloudy, a 40 to 60% chance of scattered showers with isolated thunderstorms. Winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Your heat index 78 degrees Fahrenheit to up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And for the southeast Bahamas, weather partly cloudy to cloudy, 40 to 60% chance of widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, decreasing to a 20% chance of isolated showers and thunderstorms by late afternoon. Winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, slightly higher gusts. Your heat index from 78 degrees Fahrenheit up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll have your tropical weather outlook and extended forecast in the 8 o'clock hour. That was your weather check brought to you by Star General. Star General Insurance made simple.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
Get ready to catch the Inwit Shell. Fuel up with $20 or more and unlock your shot at unforgettable prizes.
We're talking regatta trips to Exuma and Harbor Island.
Free fuel, grocery vouchers, water park passes, and more. Just snap your receipt and WhatsApp it to us at 242-422-0271. The vibes are high, the prizes are hot, and the summer is yours to win with Shell. Only at participating Shell stations in Nassau. Now through August 22nd. Terms and conditions apply.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs. For affordable rates with free on-site access, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
If I could live my life far into yesterday, I'll talk with the great Pompey and Black Dick too. Oh, I'll chat with the Milo Butler and the great C.R. Walker, Sir Cecil Wallace Whitfield. I'll say, how do you do, yeah.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Don't shop at Sherwin-Williams then. Don't get the best service in the Bahamas then.
The love is really, really strong in Sherwin-Williams. We don't just sell paint. We service you with a smile, good hearts, mind, soul, and body. And we love our customers as much as we love ourselves.
Yes, real talk.
I'm not just saying this
Real talk.
to impress myself.
We love to go beyond with customer service. So they feel delighted because they know I can either see Dee Dee, or I can see Shelly, or one of our other wonderful staff members. We treat our customers with the respect of our boss because there are many paint companies they could choose to go to. No, baby. If they go to some other paint companies, so I'm going to get this little thing at the end of the week.
We want to make sure you get that little ting, Shelley. Come visit Shelley and Dee Dee at Sherwin-Williams, Bahamas, and you'll surely find colour in every day.
And at 8:26, it's time for your final look at this morning's weather, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Your forecast for today: there is a marginal threat of isolated strong to possibly severe thunderstorms across the northwest and central Bahamas later today. The public is urged to keep updated on all severe weather warnings issued by the Bahamas Department of Meteorology. Showers and thunderstorms associated with deep layered troughing over the central Bahamas will produce unsettled weather over the area as it migrates northwestward into the northwest Bahamas later today. An unsettled weather pattern will persist across the northern half of the country into the weekend as troughing and deep tropical moisture lingers over the area. Meanwhile, the southeast Bahamas will experience gradual clearing into Thursday as high pressure builds across the area. There is an increased risk of flooding for flood-prone areas during heavy and prolonged rainfall events in the northwest, central, and central Bahamas and portions of the southeast Bahamas. Residents in these areas should exercise caution, especially those living in low-lying and flood-prone areas. For the northern and northwest Bahamas, the public is urged to remain hydrated, wear light-colored clothing, sunglasses, and sunscreen, and limit prolonged outdoor exposure to the sun, as UV indices are expected to remain in the very high to extreme range and heat indices in the upper 90s to the triple digits. There is a slight to moderate risk for rip currents across north and east coast facing beaches in the southeast Bahamas. Mariners should remain vigilant for funnel cloud formation and or waterspout activity. For the northern Bahamas, weather partly cloudy to cloudy through tonight. A 20 to 40% chance of isolated showers and thunderstorms, increasing 40 to 60% by late afternoon into tonight. Some thunderstorms may be strong to severe at times. Winds northeast to east at 10 knots today, increasing 10 to 15 knots by tonight. Your heat index from 82 degrees Fahrenheit up to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. For the northwest Bahamas, weather partly cloudy to cloudy through tonight. A 20 to 40% chance of isolated showers and thunderstorms, increasing 40 to 60% by late afternoon into tonight. Some thunderstorms may be strong to severe at times. Winds east-northeast to east-southeast at 10 to 15 knots through tonight. Your heat index for West Bahamas, between 82 degrees Fahrenheit and 110 degrees Fahrenheit. For the central Bahamas, weather partly cloudy to cloudy. A 40 to 60% chance of scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Your heat index between 78 degrees and 100 degrees Fahrenheit. For the southeast Bahamas, weather partly cloudy to cloudy. A 40 to 60% chance of widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, decreasing to 20% by late afternoon. Winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, slightly higher in gusts. Your heat index 78 degrees Fahrenheit to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. For your tropical weather outlook, see the latest news on Tropical Storm Dexter, located over the northwestern Atlantic Ocean. Off the southeastern United States, a weak surface trough located several hundred miles off the coast of the southeastern United States is producing scattered showers and thunderstorms. An area of low pressure is expected to develop from this system over the next day or so, where environmental conditions appear generally favorable for additional development. A tropical this week or this weekend as the low drifts westward before gradually turning northward to northeastward by the weekend. Formation chance through 7 days is a medium 40%. For the central tropical Atlantic, a tropical wave over the eastern tropical Atlantic is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Environmental conditions are forecast to be conducive for gradual development during the next few days, and a tropical depression could form late this week or over the weekend as the system moves generally west-northwestward. Formation chance through 7 days is a medium 50%. In your extended forecast for tomorrow, weather partly cloudy to cloudy in the northern and northwest Bahamas, variably cloudy in the central Bahamas, becoming mostly fair at night. Partly sunny during the day, becoming fair to partly cloudy at night in the southeast Bahamas. Your chance of a shower or two, 40 to 60% during the day, decreasing 20 to 40% at night in the northern and northwest Bahamas. A 10 to 30% chance of isolated showers and thunderstorms in the central and southeast Bahamas. Winds northern and northwest. Winds in the northern and northwest Bahamas, east to southeast at 10 knots or less, falling light and variable at times in the northern Bahamas. For the central and southeast Bahamas, winds easterly at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts at times. Your heat index for those areas 91 degrees Fahrenheit up to 102 degrees Fahrenheit. In your extended forecast for the Bahamas for Friday, weather partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy, a 30 to 50% chance of isolated to widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms across the majority of the areas of showers across the southeast Bahamas. Winds northern and northwest, winds southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots. That's for the northern and northwest Bahamas. And for the central and southeast Bahamas, east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Your heat index, between 91 degrees Fahrenheit and 102 degrees Fahrenheit. That's your weather check, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Looking to paint? Your local Sherwin-Williams store has top quality paints, expert advice, and everyday discounts to help you save only at Sherwin-Williams.
If I could live my life far into yesterday, I'll talk with the great Pompey and Black Dick too. Oh, I'll chat with the Milo Butler and the great C.R. Walker, Sir Cecil Wallace Whitfield. I'll say, how do you do, yeah. I'll find Dame Doris Johnson and Sir Randall Fox, L.W. Young and C.C. Sweeting too. Oh, Mr. Timothy Gibson and Clarence Bain, Sir Henry Taylor, Sir Kendall Isaacs too. I'll find.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Chester Robards, filling in for Dwight Strachan, and with hers, you might know the name.
Hey guys, so excited to be here.
Associated with the Jesus March.
The Jesus March.
Yeah, that's coming up too, right?
It is coming up August 16th. It's right around the corner.
Yep.
And this is our 5th Jesus March.
Yeah.
But second year doing it.
Second year, 5th March. Wow,
Yeah.
look at that. That's
I know.
a lot. That's good stuff.
God is good.
God is good all the time. And of course, some people know you because of your very famous grandfather, Rex Major.
Rex Major. Yes, the evangelist of the nation, the Billy Graham of the Bahamas.
Hey, I never heard that one. I like that.
Really? Yeah. I actually learned recently that he was the one to gather the most persons in a public gathering for an event.
In the Bahamas.
In the Bahamas, yeah. I was like,
not Billy
pretty
Graham.
cool.
Your grandfather.
Yes.
Rex Major.
But Billy Graham is the only other person that
Right.
brought more than he did. So I
Right.
was like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just the heart of evangelism.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
Mm.
I pray more of us Bahamians. You know,
Right.
it's our greatest calling.
We might see less of some of the things we see in the newspaper.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
You know?
So we'll talk a little bit more about the Jesus March coming up. We're going to continue our conversation about what the leader of the opposition, Michael Pintard, is saying about the Grand Lucayan. And, you know, some people are talking about what I said, which was that the cruise ship model side of this whole Grand Lucayan sale, he's talking about fixing the airport before they get started in earnest. But I'm like, but the cruise ships already come by ocean, by the sea, so can't you fix that part of the hotel first?
Yep.
I don't know.
So they could be ready for those guys.
Yeah. This person says, while the cruise ship guy can complete his part of the project without an airport, the business model they developed is an integrated one. The success of each part was projected on the success of the whole. If not, they would not have presented it as a consolidated model. Yeah, okay, that's fine and fair. But they could build it in parts and
Phases, yeah.
If the cruise part is finished, right, while the other parts are still in like their early stages, and the airport is in its early stages along with those early stages, I'm just saying you could do something.
Yeah.
I mean, the golf course, you could do that. I mean, people come on the island that are going to draw people in, and you have a golf course. It's not exclusively for your hotel, so other people can come there, right? So, I don't know. I'm just saying, there are things that can be done.
Agreed. Things can be done. Yeah.
This text message says, since independence, Bahamian governance across administrations has often followed a troubling pattern: placate the passive, tolerate the loyal, relegate the brave, and alienate the radical. Wow. That needs to be put on a plaque somewhere.
Yeah, that was really quoted well.
All right. The ones who question are silenced. Gee, I got to keep this. The ones who push for real change are branded disruptive, but real progress demands discomfort. It demands voices that won't bend for appointments or favors. If we continue to reward mediocrity and punish courage, then we are complicit in our own oppression. True independence didn't arrive in 1973. It arrives when Bahamians refuse to be managed and instead demand to be represented.
That's deep. That's deep. Who wrote that?
Thank you, Texter. That is, I'm going to keep that. I'm actually going to put it on my door or something. I'm going to print that out.
Write it on the doorpost.
This is some Paul Revere level stuff right here.
No, it's deep. It's truthful. It's beautiful.
It was, in a sense, kind of poetic.
Right? Yeah.
I'm going to save that somewhere. Let me read this other text message. That one has me feeling all like inspired to go and
lead a movement.
This person says, if Grand Bahama's economy stays stagnant the way it is, the collective economy of the Bahamas will not succeed. Can we, the people, gather at Rawson Square and throw rocks at these politicians? Well, I don't know if we can do that. To get them to respect us and do as we wish, at least sometimes. It's very upsetting and nothing desired. We can't throw rocks at them, no. Sorry. And then this person says, Chester, that text made brief and concise and real. It was brief and concise and real and beautifully put together.
Yeah.
And didn't have any mistakes, too. I could actually read that one. Some of your text messages y'all send. Broken English. Let's take this call. We got a call coming in. Yeah. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Good morning, Miss Beijing. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
Thank God for Jesus. You agree?
Oh, yeah. He's the best.
Oh, yeah. Thank God for life. Miss Beijing, what the last name is Major?
I'm a Rogers.
Oh, yeah. That's what they did say, Rogers. Maybe related to L.W. Rogers from the church and all that stuff too, right?
Not entirely sure, but I have to ask.
The name Lindell Rogers?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it's Rogers with a D.
I guess you are related somehow, but welcome.
Thank you.
Chester.
Yes, sir.
Just in case I miss it, Dwight normally say, I'm coming tomorrow or next week. I'm going to take liberty to something to do something. I mean, he okay?
Dwight did say that?
The last time, I think he'd give us a little hint that he was going for a couple of days.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Well, I don't know.
He don't do it all the time, but...
Well, he's been sending me cheeky text messages, so I'm sure he's fine.
He's not injured, hurt, or anything. He's ready to just relax it.
Nah, well, his brain ain't for sure.
Respect, Dwight. Okay, then, that's good. Chester, I don't know if it's obvious or it's good to know that I think you say you was writing the papers, right? The Guardian?
Yes,
the
sir.
Business part?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you didn't hear any story last week about, your boy, the secretary, what do you call him, Financial Secretary Simon Wilson.
Right.
What you all call that luncheon thing where he is
Yes.
Rotary stuff and talking.
Rotary Club.
You heard that news last week or you reported?
Yes.
Did you cover it?
Yes.
You cover it?
Yes.
Yeah. What was his point? Because I don't know if I understand what he said. If you have time to talk about it quickly, I don't know
which
if
point?
it go into what you're talking about.
I mean, he made a lot of points while he was there.
Huh?
He made a lot of points while he was
Talking about what he's saying, but the crew was ship. I don't want to say he was boasting up or showing off or bragging about how much money we making, right? He was making a point about what incomes coming in from these different cruise ships,
Right.
keys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You get that story to write about that?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe you could read something because I can't see your papers, but I only
Right.
go by what they bring on the news. When I hear him talking, right, and talking about the amount of money we'll be making and something, maybe you could bring us up to date. Tell us how much it is he really exactly was speaking about what we benefit as a country, right?
Right.
I think we need to stop it now. I think we don't. I don't know if lease or sell enough of them keys to these cruise ship companies. I want to hear some behemoths owning these cruise ship companies now and getting these deals with these on these keys and stuff. I don't care if it's a bar or Brent Simonid, Frankie Wills. I don't care who it is, but I think we need to ease up now on that. It seems like it's all about jobs. All right, and I think we need to empower ourselves more. I just hope, like I was telling someone, all of these deals we get with these cruise ship companies, Royal and the next one and the next one, on all Cocoa Key and all them stuff. I hope when hurricane come this way, at least what I'm saying, in other words, ain't their responsibility to do it for us, but I hope our government was smart enough or could think about, how you say, go back into the deal or re-engage it and put something inside there to say when these hurricanes come, that they come here and take us off these islands and keys and stuff like that, free of charge, carry us out wherever until the hurricane pass and then bring us back. Something in the deal. I think we're selling out, man. I think we could do these things for ourselves when it comes down to owning these keys and doing all of these things and what they did, like go Paradise Island and in Freeport. I think at the end of the day, the tourism industry, the Bahamian people, the locals, I believe they can feel it for that. Because it ain't them people, them cruise ship people job to us for their tourists to come. They hogging them, they close. It's more like exclusive, like everything. They need to come to the straw market to get anything. Sorry if I run out. George,
No.
have a good week. All right, Miss
Please
Rogers.
do. We appreciate it.
We love the passion.
Yeah,
And for the
appreciate it.
Bahamian
So,
people.
I just for your edification and clarification, what the and maybe we could talk a bit more about this in Morning Blend Business, but what the financial secretary said and what the prime minister said during his budget communication was that really the development of these private islands and then the eventual amount of tourists who are going to come to these private islands are going to be the chief money earner for the country over the next 5 years. So Carnival with their new cruise port, I think that development was $600 million, somewhere around there. And they're building another pier. So right now they can accommodate 2 ships. When the other pier is finished, they'll be able to accommodate 4 ships at a time. So Grand Bahama is going to have an unprecedented number of cruise tourists coming there over the next 5 years.
Oh, wow.
I mean, millions of people. Royal Caribbean already does that at Cocoa Key, and they spent plenty millions of dollars there redeveloping that island. And what the financial secretary also said was where cruise lines did not at some point pay VAT or business license fees, I think, is what he was saying. That didn't happen before. Now they're going to do that.
Oh,
just
good.
like every other company that operates in Bahamas, going to pay value-added tax on things that they sell in the Bahamas.
Wonderful.
And at one point, as most people know, on the private islands, cruise lines would bring their workers off the ship to tend to areas of the island. So the workers on the ship, when they're in port, would go to the restaurants and the water activities and operate those things. But they didn't. So they're in the Bahamas. So at that point, they're in the Bahamas working. But it didn't pay for work permits. And he's saying now they will.
Wow.
No matter how long they're on the island doing work, they have to have a work permit.
Wow.
And he's saying
good.
that will be enforced.
Excellent.
So, I mean, say what you want about the financial secretary, I think what he said about those things is a good thing.
Yeah,
I have
progress.
I have some good friends working, who might, who might say, I mean, the cruise lines do a lot in certain areas, but I mean, fair is fair. I'm a small company. I got to pay VAT and business license fees, and you have a small company. You got to pay all these things. You got to, you have workers, and so why not the cruise lines? People would say, right? So good. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Hey, good morning, Chester.
Morning. How you doing?
Okay, yeah. Let me explain something to you, right? The cruise ships come to New Providence, the Nassau on a daily basis, right?
Right.
Sometimes 5, 6 ships. The thing is, down to the average person. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, right? So it doesn't matter how much ships, how much things those guys are doing, right? Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Disney, they're making sure the money stays on their part of it.
Let me. I hear this argument all the time. Let me ask you who the average person is.
Hello?
Yeah. Who's the average person you're talking about?
Well, I mean, for me, I drive a taxi cab.
Okay.
Right? And I can tell you, the government looks at the figures, they look at the head count, and they see 11.2 million tourists. Maybe 9 million of those maybe on cruise ship, right? Or more.
Mm-hmm.
They're seeing the head tax, but they're not seeing the ground.
Right.
Those guys are coming here, they have their private islands. That's one thing. They have their private islands. And then a lot of times when they reach Nassau last. Right?
Okay.
Cruise ship passengers inherent. Because if I can go on a cruise tomorrow if I want to, I can say, before I'm just going on a cruise. Maybe $2,000, right? If you go on a vacation, like if you're flying in, you're going to have to get a room. You're going to have to get a plane ticket, food. That's for $8,000. So
let me put this to you. I would argue that that's not true, that cruise passengers don't have no money. I was a cruise passenger once, and I was a very broke cruise passenger. But I bought tours on 2 stops that I went to that were very expensive because I bought them on the ship. I'm going to tell you, Emancipation Day holiday, I was at Blue Lagoon, and ships regularly came into Blue Lagoon full of people who came from cruise ships. And I could tell you Blue Lagoon ain't no cheap place to go to. I boats full of people up and down the harbor. And clearly whoever owns the companies that are doing those tours are not losing. I want to say to people who say it's not trickling down, it may not be trickling in your direction, but it's trickling in somebody's direction.
Well, I mean, remember now, a lot of the okay, let me explain something, right? If you look at the people that are coming in, a lot of the big companies, right? We have several big companies doing business with the cruise ships, right? And then the cruise ships are telling the people, hey, y'all, if y'all leave the cruise port or y'all going to go on a approved tour of a cruise ship, just stay within Nassau. I had a guest out of the. I mean, they don't want to make great left. I mean, I say that anybody can do nothing to you because Bahamians, we need a U.S. currency. Bahamians are not going to affect any tourists or try to do anything to the tourists. I mean, I hear you what you're saying that maybe. I mean, some people are making lots of money. I agree with that, right? But I mean, if the government does a survey, right? They'll see that it's not trickling down. I mean, for the masses. I mean, for me as a taxi driver, I've pivoted. You know what I mean? I have a lot of returning guests.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I have some guests coming in next week, the party at 10. Understand me? So I can find ways to probably make money. But what I'm saying is the average driver, they're not feeling the economic uplift or whatever's going on. They're not feeling it.
Well, how is it being missed by the drivers? Is it? I mean, a broke tourist will always be a broke tourist coming on a cruise ship if that's the mentality that we have about it. But how do you move those people towards you? The government can't really tell people coming off a cruise ship. I know you're saying the cruise lines tell people don't go nowhere, but the amount of people I see downtown on a daily basis really ain't listening. But how far do they go? Where do they want to go? And what do they want to see? So that's my question.
You're right. See, like I said, some people have a lot of people have approved tours, right?
Right.
They go to, I don't want to call anybody's name. They go to certain companies. They say, okay, let's do 30 people. Let's go on a boat tour or whatever that is. Right. That happens every day, right?
Yeah.
like for me, I have an online presence. It's not where I want it to be, but I have an online presence, right?
Right.
So sometimes people come and they call me. They say, "Hey, you're coming in, party at 10:20, and I don't have a big car, so I outsource to one of my friends, try to make a couple extra dollars, right? That happens. But what I'm saying is, you hustling on Bay Street. Let me tell you something. Yes, it's no money making. I mean, yesterday. I mean, let me tell you something. One of these days, I just observed. You understand me?
I would love to do that. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. My email is chester@nascar.com. Send me an email. Let's me and you get together. All right. You can find my email in the newspaper in the business section if you forget it. Send me an email. Let's get together. I'd love to see and kind of experience what you're talking about, so I can get a better understanding.
I'll send you a note, okay?
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. All
right. We got more calls coming in now. Let's take these calls. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend. No? Okay, go ahead. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, how you doing, sir? I was listening to your response to the caller just called about the trickle down.
Yeah.
You said to him, it may not be trickling down in your direction, but it may be trickling down in somebody's direction.
Right.
And I heard and I thought about that and I said, okay, so let me ask you a question, Mr. Chester.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then the economy would then reflect the impact the trickle down would have on the average Bahamian. We wouldn't be suffering financially as a nation if that was the case. The IMF. So when you talk about these responses, you got to put into perspective certain indicators and certain information that would allow us to have proper information communicated to the masses. Okay? So he was absolutely right. The tourism industry does not impact the average person the way that it should. The IMF and IDB have been asking the government to monetize the impact on tourism visitors to the Bahamas. Stop only telling us that we have 11 million visitors and you can't give us an account of the finances that account with these visitors to show us how much money we're making from these tourists that come to our shores. Okay? And then why would you sell a whole hotel and don't put in provisions to have the airport fixed? All that is counterproductive to you and your success. Okay? And so we have to be careful what we say to the general public regarding our economy, making us feel as if things so good when we know the GDP does not reflect that things is good. And that's what's important. Our deficit, our revenues, our expense, and our profit and loss statements as a nation, and we've been in the red for all our life. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you for your call. I disagree with most of the things you said. I love to say that I believe the financial reports the government's put out. I don't completely believe those. I do not think that we are suffering when it comes to revenue from the tourist industry. Right? My problem exists here about this whole idea of trickling down is that people want to feel the trickle, but they're not under the tap. You feel me? I understand the gentleman who drives a taxi who says sometimes his online presence isn't where he wants it to be. That's marketing.
Yeah.
That's marketing.
Yeah.
Bahamians don't believe in marketing. I can tell you that. They believe that if you build it, they shall come.
Yeah.
But if they don't know about it, they ain't coming.
Yeah.
So marketing is number one. Me and you just talked about marketing.
Yeah.
Beijing.
Yeah.
I
mean, but I do understand I understand where he's coming from.
You could understand him after I make this other point, right? Let me make this other. I have a small business. I'm one of those people who wants to benefit from the tourism industry, and I do, right? What I do right now is not going to make me a millionaire, but I will. That is not trickling down to me, and I am at the bottom of. I'm a fourth party involved in making souvenirs for the tourist industry. So I'm way down there, right? But I'm making money from it. No matter how little it is. It buys water, it buys food,
Mhm.
it may pay BPL because that's a stretch. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's trickling down to
yeah,
me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't go
Yeah, but
downtown.
you're one of
I stay in my house.
yeah, because you had that idea.
But you understand my point?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
I'm
yeah.
under the top.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna tell me it's not trickling down. I put myself in under the spout
Yeah.
to get the trickle. And I pray for a deluge one day. I pray that God will turn the spigot on a little bit more for me.
Yeah, yeah.
But you gotta
You're doing your part, yeah.
You gotta put yourself
yeah,
in there,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
You gotta do the government. I'm one of those people who says that the government has not done enough to make doing business in the country easy. But
Still got to do your part.
you still got to do your part.
Yeah.
The government cannot sell your product for you. The government cannot direct people off of the cruise lines into your store.
Yeah.
Then that's not what they're there for. They're there to allow
Regulate and make sure everything's going.
They're there to allow a Nassau cruise port to build a beautiful cruise port that will attract more ships and more people. Now, what are you going to do for those more people? If only 50% of the 9 million tourists that come into a cruise port come into Nassau, if only 4.5 million people, how are you getting a little slice of that? Because that sounds like a lot of people to me,
It is. Yeah.
right? And I am getting the littlest slice off of doing a little thing,
Yeah.
but it's still trickling down to me. And that's the only point I'm trying to make to whoever's saying it's not trickling down. You got to find ways, and I know it's not easy. C. Allen talked about financing and finding capital. That is the most difficult thing to do in this country. Even though I go talk to C. Allen because it's hard to find. Banks don't want to fund startups, right? If you have a business that maybe you bootstrap to a point where you could have financials that make sense and take it to them. But if you are a company that's just starting up and you need some money, they might not look your way. Right? It's hard.
No, yeah.
I could tell you, I see tourists on 4-wheelers, and there's more than one company around here that rents those things. It's trickling down to them. And so it's not just the boat tour excursions.
It's positioning yourself.
You have to.
It's
You
positioning
cannot
yourself.
open a store and then expect people to walk into it.
Yeah, you definitely have to market. Yeah.
It's marketing, and the companies, not the like the Small Business Development Center and those other people will tell you, don't market yourself, you're gonna collapse.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
You have to spend the money on the marketing.
Yep.
And I know it hurts.
Seen.
I know it
Yeah.
hurts. It hurts to think
Tell
that
me
you
about
have
it.
to spend money on
But it works.
on a phantasmic thing that you don't know whether or not it's going to pay
work out.
dividends.
Yeah.
But it's not going to pay dividends if you don't do it. So we'll talk more about that in Morning Blend Business, as well as other things. And so that's it for Morning Blend. Morning Blend Business is coming right up.
Let us cherish their legacy every day. You salute Sir Lyndon Pinling, father of the nation. H.W. Brown and Cleveland Indians too.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Hungry for a deal that hits the spot and your wallet? Then stop by Wendy's and grab our $15.95 meal deal for two. Choose two of your favorite entrees, a Dave's single, spicy chicken, or a 10-piece nuggets. Served with 2 junior fries and 16-ounce drinks. All for just $15.95. At Wendy's, we're always serving quality food at a great price. Available for a limited time.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning. Welcome to Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Chester Robards, filling in for Dwight Strachan, who's taking some days off from waking up early. And we're going to do a conversation. I guess we started a conversation about the cruise industry and what's happening there. Just want to read some text messages from our Morning Blend session. Let's see, read that one. Oh, yeah, lots of people texted in. Wow. This person says, have C. Allen call back and explain how Bahamians can get financing without conventional means to get into the tourism and B&B business. Yes, I'm sure he will tell us about that. This person said, okay. So this person says, true, but the question the cruise guy has is when. How long has GB been without an airport? Investors are knowledgeable. Yes, they are. Chief money earner is not a holistic statement. Neither is unprecedented or record-breaking. How much of the money will stay in the Bahamas? $3 a day for a work permit. Okay. Again, I said myself, I don't truly believe all of the numbers the government puts out, but that's just me. Good morning, Morning Blend. How does the Bahamas benefit directly from cruise ship passengers besides general head count fees? Y'all got to stop it. This person says, Chester, while we appreciate you guys, right, even though if it was not me with the text, please try your best to read through the topographical errors in a haste. We as humans make mistakes. Yeah, of course, I don't. Papa has manners and respect with his passion. Please, Papa, keep it going. I like your passion and ideas, brother. Give thanks. The taxi driver is correct in his trickle down. He is on the ground. The government is only interested in collecting their revenue, and to hell with the small man. Sprint says the money is trickling down when you look on the streets, tourists up and down on the motorbikes, four-wheel and rentals. The taxi driver talking foolishness. He's not talking foolishness. He's talking his reality. Sprint says, why is he still a taxi driver if no money making? Well, that's not fair. Sprint says, has the caller seen the tons of social media? He meant typographical. Thank you. Why don't you go back to vacation? The caller has seen tons of social media posts where the guests complain about being ripped off by these taxi drivers. They are running a... No. I won't. Y'all don't do that to the taxi drivers. They are not all bad. One tried to charge me $40 from the airport to Gladstone Road. Yes, they did that to me too. Good morning, Chester. You're spot on when you asked if they under the tap. Cruise passengers can't spend money when they don't create products that they have the desire or experience. Ask your audience when they travel either here or foreign, do they spend money on what they don't want? Blessings. Exactly. I mean, nobody does, right? This person says, Chester, don't mind these taxi drivers. I'm a taxi driver. I'm making money. The problem, these taxis overcharging the guests and the guests catching on, so they're using Ubers. Tourists ask questions. Now they ain't going by these taxi drivers, by what these taxi drivers saying. Chester, these tourists looking for good service for their buck. These taxi drivers is be speeding, ain't dress appropriate. Tourists to flock to them. You got to market your business. That old taxi model ain't gonna work. Taxi would marketing their business, making it. They still in that hacker mindset that ain't gonna work no more. Tourists booking you before they reach online bookings. That's exactly what I was just saying. This person says, Chester, good morning, I guess. Chester Cox. Somebody making a joke, eh? The Bahamas is a high revenue generation country. However, Bahamians do not truly want to involve themselves in nation building. They mostly want to receive. Wake up, Bahamians, and organize yourselves and live again. The Lord our God, Jesus Christ, says that faith without works is dead. Yes, dead, Selah. Correct. Chester, you have time. I'd appreciate you watching this. Wow. Chester, what is your tourism-related business? Contact, please. I have some product to show you. Me? Like I said, I'm the bottom rung. I want to do a story. This is injustice we experience. If we don't hold those responsible accountable, nothing will change. All right, I'll see if I can look at that thing you sent. Good morning, Chester. The caller was on point. Most persons don't have resources and contacts. You do. I didn't. Look, y'all got to stop. I didn't need resources or contacts. I was just telling Beijing that the way I got into what I'm doing right now, that's the bottom rung of this little tourist souvenir thing, is I met somebody. I said, hey, I can do this for you and take this off your hands. And they said, okay, let's see what you could do. I did it, and we're still doing it today. This is not about who I knew. This is about who I went to, showing up, who I went to, who I spoke to, networking. Marketing myself, and what I could do. And that's what happened.
Got to get out there to be seen. It's a lot of work, but unfortunately, that's just the way it is.
It is. And
it
won't
work. Just come to you,
it is,
you know?
It's legwork, right? And the machine I use, listen, I'm going to give away all my trade secrets because I want y'all to be successful. I want y'all to stop on government and excuses. The business sector is difficult in this country to navigate and to work in, but it's not impossible. And you can get
because some people are winning.
The machine that I use to do what I do right now cost me $500 and something. Not landed. That's before it get here with the high prices and duties, right? All right, I've already made that back. Twice. Y'all got to stop it. I'm not going to become a millionaire off of this, but I don't need to become a millionaire. I just need to take care of my bills, especially BPL. Right?
And your family.
And my family. Well, they part of the bills. I gotta keep the lights on.
But you're a good man, Chester. A good man.
I don't know if I introduced Beijing again when we came back to Morning Blend Business, but that's Beijing Rogers.
Hey guys, Beijing Rogers, not Chinese, Bahamian.
The greatest advocate for Jesus in the country at the moment. And
at the moment,
Michael, sorry, the last name. Just get into the mic there, like we are. Michael Maycock.
Michael Maycock.
He's also with IOT, which is It's Our Turn, and they organized the Jesus March that's coming up. Glad to have them here at Morning Blend Business to co-host the show. We need some glory and glorification up in this studio today, and we're going to talk about the upcoming Jesus March very shortly. Because you know what's great? There's a lot. You know, there's a lot of great quotes in the Bible. People don't think about the Bible when it comes to like business. But there's a lot of
Jesus talks way more about money than he does about other issues. A lot.
Yeah. And very good, interesting things about running business and doing business in the Bible.
And stewarding. And
if you just Google it, you could find lots of things. Yep, and stewardship. That person who says faith without works is they're on the right track too.
Correct.
So let's take some of these calls. I didn't read all the text messages. I'm going to try and get to those too. But good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend Business.
Good morning, Chester.
Good morning.
A very special guest.
Good morning.
Interesting conversation. I must agree with the taxi cab driver, though, Chester. The money does not seem to be trickling down to Bahamian businesses who are not, particularly those who are not located on Bay Street or in that vicinity. If you go over the hill, for example, there's very little attractions. And I'm not saying that that's the government's fault. But what I would like to suggest, as we have agitated and advocated for the last 40 years before my father died, that the government ought to establish Entertainment Cultural Encouragement Act so that Bahamians can invest in attractions as we had done 40, 50 years ago when we had more than 40, 50 nightclubs over the hill. There is no incentives to build attractions to draw the tourists away from Bay Street or away from the cruise ships or away from the mega resorts. I have a nightclub that we operate in the Coral Harbor area, and the government did not give us 1 penny exemption on anything that we had to invest, over $100,000 initially.
And you asked for it.
Penny. So what I'm saying, Chester, yes, it is our responsibility as business persons to manage and promote our business. But the ministries of tourism, what are they doing to assist small businesses in the promotion? They give considerable concessions to the mega resorts in the tune of millions of dollars annually in exemptions. Secondly, they give them millions of dollars to promote their product. What do they do for the small businesses? What do they do to incentivize you in your business? Yes, you took the initiative, and I'm very happy to hear that you're successful. But if we are not being incentivized as the mega foreign direct investors are being incentivized, how can we compete? Those are the issues. If we're really serious about developing the tourism industry, the tourism industry, as the word indicates, is to tour, move you from one place to another place, not to hold you hostage on a cruise ship or on a private island or on a Sandals or a Breezes where you are you're chained to those properties. Not literally, but figuratively, because you're not incentivized to move off those properties because there are no attractions to move to. What about Clifton? Are they promoting Clifton? What about the historic communities? We just had Emancipation Day, Gambia. Did they promote that? Not one single word did I hear from the Ministry of Tourism promoting those areas. Not a single word. Those are the issues. I'd like for you to maybe make some comments on some of the things that we have to incentivize the business sector to invest in the tourism industry.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Freddie Munnings, the great Freddie Munnings. I always agree with everything you said, and as I said before, they do not make it easy to do business in this country, especially it feels like for Bahamian businesses or those who don't go asking for favors. This one of those communities where, there are processes and they are difficult until you either grease somebody or you got somebody who could move something along a little quicker for you. That's right. So there are those issues. Now, I was trying to ask Freddie just now, did he go after those incentives, those concessions, etc.? He probably did. I don't know. And things take so long in this country. Processes take so long, and people take so long to answer emails and phone calls and move whatever you want to do along. It seems to be a terrible culture we have, right? Those are the issues, right? It's not difficult to get a business license. DIR has made that fairly simple nowadays. So you can start that process. Getting through the process with NIB isn't as painstaking as it used to be. So you could do that, right? And then the next step is, again, like Freddie Munning said, if you want to start something that needs heavy capital to develop, my first thing is, where you're going to get the money from is not going to be easy. Go into a bank, a regular commercial bank, without a plan, without other money, because you got to put something down. So if you don't already have money, you can't get money.
Mm-hmm.
You got the SBDC that could give you the government guaranteed loans, but their process is still a little long and a little arduous. If you look at the pages of stuff that you have to put together before you could get to the end of that, you probably quit. It's hard. It is very difficult. And I absolutely agree with Freddie Munning. Sometimes tourists come here and they ask people who they come to see, or just people, taxi drivers, people standing around. It's like, hey, where do you go? We want to go where you go. We want to go where the locals go.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know how many people still do that. But where do we go? Right? We hear Mr. Munnings, Freddie Munnings, talking about people going over the hill to these. There used to be nightclubs over the hill, and it was a great place to go. When the hill, do we go there?
No.
What we call over the hill, do we go there?
No.
We don't go there.
No.
Certain types of us do not go there. Unless we live there, we don't go there. Right? I'm sure there's places to shop there. I don't know if they got business licenses, but
But it is a fair point.
Do we go? Do we go over the hill?
Yeah.
Palmdale is over the hill. There's restaurants there. There was a restaurant
there's
in Palmdale called Oasis, and they've moved on the other side of the hill. Now they're on Bay Street, off Bay Street, right?
There's a coffee shop, it's not over the hill, but it's close to Montague Beach.
Yeah. What's it called again?
It's called Cafe Amore.
Cafe Amore?
It's where the Sir Stafford Sands house is.
Is that what that is?
The first Minister of Tourism. Mm-hmm. But now it's called Le Chateau.
Now it's called Le Chateau.
Yeah,
but that
with
was
the coffee shop.
That was Sir Stafford Sands' house.
Yes, back in the day.
So it has all this historical context. Yep. Do you, Beijing, who's a co-owner in this property, do you play that up?
That's the plan.
Okay, yeah. There's still a plan in place. But you can get coffee there now.
Yes, you can.
So the
coffee, sandwiches, gelato.
Wow.
Yeah. Some say best coffee on the island.
And after the G raid there to
yes,
do something?
we are to do some praying for the nation. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Nice.
So we have a lot of exciting stuff coming up, and we invite you all listening to join us. Right, Michael?
just get closer to the mic. You gotta talk as close to the mic as they talk.
Look at us.
But yeah, I definitely agree with Mr. Munnings. I know I have a couple of friends who come back and forth from, I guess, the U.S. down to the Bahamas here. And a lot of them say, like, off the cruise, like, we don't know what to do. Like, there's nothing to do, just jewelry stores and all that kind of stuff downtown. Right. So take us wherever you need to, wherever we can have fun, where we could do some, I guess, little activities.
Right. Yeah. I had my rock climbing thing going in Clifton Heritage Park. I'm glad Mr. Munnings mentioned it. And we haven't been doing it for a while, but I could tell you more than a dozen people found who are probably avid rock climbers back home. So I don't know why they want to come climb our little cliffs. Yeah. But anyway, but there were some people who'd never done it but wanted to try it. Mm-hmm. And it is a very entry-level climbing out there, right?
Yeah.
And so I've had I would call it lots of requests, because I don't advertise in the U.S. People came looking for rock climbing in the Bahamas.
Yeah. And that's because you had an online presence where they could go looking for that. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this taxi driver says the money is trickling down when you look on the streets, tourists up and down on the four-wheelers. I read that. This person says Bahamians need to get innovative. Look at the guy at Montague making money from washing the tourists' feet with our seawater. I'm sorry, what?
Yes, that actually happened to
Somebody
me
is out
last
there?
week. Yes. So I took a few children at Montague,
Right.
and he stopped us to wash our feet. And I was like, what? I've never experienced that
Like
before.
for a charge?
Yeah. But obviously you have to give it once he
Oh.
takes your feet.
Interesting.
Yeah. Which is pretty clever because, I mean, who wants to go in a
Yeah.
car with sandy feet?
Oh, that's what he does.
Yeah, he
Apparently
literally
calls it miracle water. So after
Yeah.
you come off the
He
sand,
takes the same ocean water and he washes the
what?
sand off of your feet.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
that is brilliant.
Yeah,
Because like
I
if you
love
didn't
it.
bring a little water bucket or something
Exactly.
and you about to jump in your car with your sandy foot, you just, hey,
Right.
2 foot over here, need to wash.
He is solving a problem, and that's what business is, solving a problem.
Absolutely. Wow.
Especially for those tourists, who come. But even Bahamians, because again, we like to keep our cars clean.
Yeah. Wow. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that guy. Let's try and take this call before we go to a break. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend Business. You got a caller there? Hey, yeah, we're here.
All right, my battery getting dead, sir, but that, I like that idea with the seaweed washing off the that's creative thinking, that's thinking out of the box. That's what
Absolutely.
you're telling us who think it ain't tripling down enough. We need to get under the top. I believe.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I still believe that it's all about like incentives and stuff like that, like what Mr. Munnings was saying. I know it's another word what they use. It almost like what they do for the foreign investors when they come here also, another word also, like it ain't in my head right now, but they could do these kind of things. Them, I feel like the government, when I say, and I agree with you that we can't be dependent on the government to do everything, but there's some things, them, what we realize the government doing for others. You understand? What we
Oh,
think
yeah.
we can do
Mhm.
also
Yeah,
ourselves.
yeah, of
you
course.
understand?
Mm-hmm.
Make the playground more fair or the table more fair for able to do things. Then I believe we could do more investment, just like I talked about the seaweed. We could get more into religious tourism. I think that's something we have going on. But maybe whatsoever the things is what they're doing to help us local investors to get some of this money out of tourism, they need to triple it. They need to do incentive. They need to do things. Then they need to think out of the box. They need to be creative, like how they be for those foreign investors. Invest the money, millions of dollars. You understand? Help us. We could weed out the bad apples. Some people who think the government owed them something or whatever or don't understand, it's all about thinking out of the box. We could weed them out. But there's many things we could do. Have workshops. We could have concerts, them live concerts where they, pay to come and talk religious tourism. All kind of stuff we can do.
Yep.
You understand?
Yep,
So
absolutely.
I want to encourage you to please reach out to the taxi driver because everyone's story is different.
Yeah, exactly.
Reach
Yeah.
out-
That's
reach
why
out
I
to
told
the-
him to contact me.
Yeah, reach out to the straw awareness them also. You understand? And maybe someone in the government so they can maybe tell you the things and what they're doing already for the people. And like I say, I believe we just need to triple it up and maybe invest more. Incentives,
Yeah.
I think that's the word what they use.
Concessions.
Yeah, to help out with the local
Yeah,
business.
concessions.
How you feel about the local? How you feel about the religious tourism investing more in
One
that?
one day,
Miss Rogers,
Beijing is going to take. Yeah, well, how do you feel about it? But Beijing is going to have a whole cruise ship coming with Jesus March people, and we're going to march from the cruise ship all around Nassau, right?
It's so funny that you mentioned that. Obviously, the Jesus March isn't for profit, but we did try and engage the Ministry of Tourism to get tourists on the Jesus March to say, hey, like you can come to the Bahamas for all these beautiful, wonderful things, but we're Christian.
Did they have to promote it?
What did they say, Michael? They
said
They'll think about it.
They'll push it.
but not directly to the tourists because they feel that there'd be some type of conflict, which I don't understand.
You mean
How?
like who don't believe in Jesus or who ain't down with that? And stuff?
I mean, well, the Bahamas is a Christian nation, so whether you believe or not, like this is where we stand. So if you're not interested, then don't come. But I think
When it come down to us local people, the government, and whoever in charge need to bite the bullet and invest our dreams. We creative too. We have good ideas too. We just need a chance to the table. That's all. Y'all keep up the good
Yeah,
work.
thank you. The
God bless.
Ministry of Tourism does have a religious tourism.
yeah, they do.
arm.
That's why we message them.
So how is it they would say that they wouldn't market directly
Well,
to that sector?
That's what they gave us, but they did say they will push it internally.
Okay.
Is why we
okay.
contacted them.
Let's
in
take
the
a
first
break,
place.
and then when we come back, we're talking about Jesus March. What is, Jesus March is not for profit, but we could profit off Jesus. How about that?
Ultimate price.
Let's go to this break.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, there the Athlete's Foot and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Pine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clarkson Island Lock, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
With RBC,
Your ideas become plans.
Your plans become memories.
This is retirement.
And your dreams become your life.
whether it's planning that family vacation, owning your dream home, or retiring comfortably, your ideas are everything. And RBC is here to help make them happen. With RBC, your ideas happen here.
You work hard for your money, so let your money work hard for you. With as little as $1,000 to start, you can watch your money grow by investing in CFAL's $1 mutual funds, each tailored to match your unique investment profile. Our expert advisors are dedicated to crafting personalized investment strategies to help you achieve your financial goals. Don't miss out on the chance to earn higher returns on your hard-earned money. Join the thousands of investors who trust CFAL and start your journey toward financial freedom today. Visit us at cfal.com to learn more about our saving and investment options. And let us help you build wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
And it's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. The country's financial intelligence unit has seen a rise in fraudulent activity in the last 3 to 4 years. That's according to legal counsel at the FIU, Joanne Fritz Creary. She told the media that yesterday. She explained that the Bahamas and anti-money laundering countering the financing of terrorism, the Bahamas' regime remains strong and in good standing with international regulatory bodies. Fritz Creary made the remarks on the sidelines of a gaming board of the Bahamas AML CFT training session yesterday. She explained that the country is heading into a 5th round of mutual evaluations by the international regulatory bodies on AML CFT matters and has to continue to show collaboration between the supervisory authorities in the country. And a $14.9 million North Abaco private island once thought owned by U.S. celebrities Beyonce and Jay-Z is generating significant interest from potential buyers, according to John Christie, Chief Executive Officer of real estate company. He told Guardian Business that Ruaicheska Island, also known as Stranger's Key, is a 360-acre North Abaco gem that is all virgin land with a pre-approved plan for a 6,000-foot airstrip that is resort development ready. And Fidelity Bank Bahamas Chief Executive Officer Gowan Bo said the bank reported growth in consumer loans and mortgage loans between 2023 and 2024, but is still not back to its pre-pandemic level in regard to the size of its loan portfolio. Gowan Bo, who is also the chairman of the Clearing Banks Association, said in the bank's 2024 annual report, quote, the bank recorded temperate growth during the fiscal year 2024 in both consumer loans and mortgage loans. However, the bank has remained disciplined in adhering to its credit risk management policies and procedures that have illuminated the deterioration in the quality of borrowers and borrowing capacity in the Bahamas. And Aztec Airways announced that it has begun year-round daily non-stop service from Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport to North Eleuthera Airport, filling a gap left behind by beleaguered airline Silver Airways and taking some pressure off the country's national flag carrier Bahamas Air to fill Silver's routes. They say, we, quote, we've proudly flown to Eleuthera since 2001, and thanks to growing demand from passengers and island partners alike, we're making it even easier to get there, whether you're heading to Harbor Island, Spanish Wells, or anywhere in between. The company said this expansion now grows its routes to also 5 weekly flights into Governor's Harbor and 2 weekly flights into Rock Sound. In international business, the study says ChatGPT is giving teens dangerous advice on drugs, alcohol, and suicide. ChatGPT will tell 13-year-olds how to get drunk and high, instruct them on how to conceal eating disorders, and even compose a heartbreaking suicide letter to their parents if asked, according to new research from a watchdog group. The Associated Press reviewed more than 3 hours of interactions between ChatGPT and researchers posing as vulnerable teens. The chatbot typically provided warnings against risky activity, but went on to deliver startlingly detailed and personalized plans for drug use, calorie-restricted diets, or self-injury. The researchers at the Center for Countering Digital Hate also repeated their inquiries on a large scale, classifying more than half of ChatGPT's 1,200 responses as dangerous. The group CEO Imran Ahmed says, we want to test the guardrails. The visceral initial response is, oh my lord, there are no guardrails. The rails are completely ineffective. They're barely there, if anything, a fig leaf. OpenAI, the maker of ChatGPT, said after viewing the report Tuesday that its work is ongoing in refining how the chatbot can, I quote, identify and respond appropriately in sensitive situations. That's your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
John's gonna be so much brighter.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Chester Robards filling in for Dwight Strachan along with Beijing Rogers, whose voice you heard there as we entered.
Hola, hola. That's me.
And we're also here with Michael,
Maycock.
Maycock. Oh, yeah, Maycock. I'm sorry. And we're going to end the show talking about what's going on. That ChatGPT story is very alarming.
Honestly.
And I think it ties in nicely with the Jesus March and what we're trying to defend against in this country, because we had the startling statistics report that came out about suicide in teens in this country.
1 in 5.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's on the prayer list for the Jesus March and IOT. So tell us about it. When is it happening?
Guys, Bahamas, wake up. Are we up? Wake up, Bahamas. Good morning. Guys, as we all know, if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, we have a problem in this nation. And no matter what we think is the solution, the greatest solution is the gospel. The gospel of Jesus Christ, which is Jesus died on the cross for our sins. while we were still sinners, so that we can live eternally with him. But while we're still on earth, we can live a life of freedom and true rest and joy and peace and pure love with the Holy Spirit helping us out. And so, like Chester said about the statistics in suicide and the mental health declining, especially in the younger generations due to all of these screens and there's no balance happening. It takes us that have a true relationship with Jesus Christ to disciple those and share the good news of what Jesus did. And that is why the Jesus March exists.
Yeah.
The Jesus March is to unite the church. The church, capital T, not the little churches that we have on every block of the nation. I mean, the church should be the light in the darkness. But why is the Bahamas just completely becoming so dark?
Mm-hmm.
So it's to unite the church. If you call yourself a Christian, a child of God, a believer in Christ Jesus, we ask you to come out and march, because the march isn't just a walk. It is a battlefield. We're going to war to tear down the demonic walls and strongholds that we see that are happening. Mental health, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unite the church to spread the gospel, because that is our calling. And if you're not spreading the gospel, if you're not evangelizing, if you're not sharing the love of Jesus, one can really question, are you truly saved? Is the Holy Spirit within you? Because the Holy Spirit's job is to manifest Christ. You know what I mean? So to evangelize, and third, to feed the people. So we will be starting from R.M. Bailey at 9 a.m. Come a little bit earlier. Going through Kemp Road to give out food packages to the persons in Kemp Road. And then we end on Montague Beach for altar calls, rededications, new commitments, and baptisms.
All right, slow down here.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
So, okay, there's several ways to get to Kemp Road from R. Bailey Park. What's the actual route, first of all? And then second of all, you got care packages that you're going to give out along the way.
Yes.
So tell us about that. How does it need people to bring stuff for these packages? You already have them. How does that work?
Yeah, so we go down Marathon Road and then Wolf Road, and then we turn into Kemp Road.
Okay.
Okay, and so we'll be going down Kemp Road
So Kemp Road
slowly.
end to end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. For the light to come into the darkness. And so we'll be giving them food packages because the word tells us, right? We want to be as close to the word as possible, is to feed the hungry, to feed those who are poor and who are needy. And so God gave us the command to go a step further. And so the way that you can donate is by bringing your care packages at 8 a.m. on the day of the Jesus March, just to make it simple. And then we'll take those because we have a specific van where the food package will be.
You ain't got to walk with the
No, Georgie bundles needed.
Okay.
All the Georgie bundles will be in one van where the food packages will be, and then we will distribute from there.
Okay.
Because we don't want it to be a chaotic situation either, and we want it to be organized. So if you would like to donate some food at the Jesus March on August 16th at 8 a.m., we will be there from 7:30 a.m.
That is a Saturday morning.
Saturday morning, correct.
August 16th.
Yeah.
Was this route chosen for a particular reason?
Yeah, people ask that. So everything regarding the Jesus March is heaven's strategy. So we always pray and ask, what do you want this year? Who's in need? Yeah. And so he just put Kemp Road in our lap and said, feed them spiritually and physically. And so we're like, okay, let's go. But the beautiful thing about this year's Jesus March is that we're doing a prayer revival. Okay, so last year we read the Bible for 24 hours straight, which was incredible. It was incredible. But this year he's like, okay, take it a notch further. And I not want you guys to just pray for 24 hours, but pray for 7 days for 24 hours. And to include the other churches.
Yeah,
So so day one is at Le Chateau. Okay, all of these in-person prayer times are from 6 to 9 p.m. Okay, so day one is at Le Chateau. Day 2, 6 to 9 p.m. is at Legacy Church.
Okay.
Day 3, 6 to 9 p.m. is at Le Chateau. Day 4, 6 to 9 p.m. is at Grace Community Church. Day 5 from 6 to 9 p.m. is at Le Chateau. And day 6 at 6 to 9 p.m. is at Bahamas Faith Ministries, BFM. And lastly, 6 is right after the march at Le Chateau because we end up Montague Beach and we can just walk over.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this isn't, like you said, this isn't about a church. This is about the church.
Yeah, to unite the church coming together,
Which is the people.
Not denominations
Right.
and organizations. I mean, no one even knows who puts this on because it's not even about us.
Right.
This thing is just to proclaim one name, the greatest name that we all know, and that is Jesus Christ, man.
And I think what's kind of special from what I've seen of the 5 marches already, one of which or 2 of which happened in Grand Bahama?
Yes.
2 or 1?
One.
1 so far, right? Is there so much young people like you, Michael, and you, Beijing? Not me.
You, Chester.
even though I brought a young person at one time.
Well done.
I'm not so young, but anyhow. Yeah.
You brought your daughter in a stroller.
Yeah.
Come on, dads, bring your children in strollers. Let's go.
To
Let the
march.
generational blessings.
But how does that play into things? I mean, people seeing young people marching for Jesus.
I mean, the turnout is just, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, last year was one of my first Jesus marches because just moving back home as it was. And just the amount of young people out there, it was just surprising to me that, you know, they had, like, Christ has this kind of pull on the young people in the Bahamas. And I didn't think about that going into it. I was just like thinking, like, okay, maybe it'll just be the same crew, like how it always is, you know, like a smaller crew. And then when I got out there, the amount of persons that were out there, young people that are out there, just beautiful, amazing.
Yeah.
So after that, it was just like, kind of like, just like that trickle effect. So one person tells another person, and then everyone kind of gets going in it. And it's just a mass amount of young people. So it's just incredible to see like the word of God spread, especially throughout the youth, and then empowering the youth and getting in the church. So it's beautiful.
And what the world is so hungry for is Jesus. You know, not religion, not churchianity, not pride. Look at me, look at me.
Right.
It's Jesus. And young people see through what's happening. And so the Jesus March is it's so different because no one is being promoted.
Yeah.
Only Jesus. Not a singer is promoted, not a pastor. There is no one's name on the flyer or any promotional material except the name of Jesus. And I just think that the Bahamas has become so prideful. And look at me, look what I have to say, look at my voice. And yes, thank God for your talents and that you're using it for Christ. But there comes a time, the pride that God had to heal in my personal heart. I mean, I tell anyone that the pride that he is healing in my heart, but it comes a point where we all have to acknowledge our own prides and our own hearts. And when we come to that point is when we can truly repent.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've heard all the time, repent, 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 repent. But until we can truly repent, which doesn't just mean, God, forgive me for my sins, asking for forgiveness. No, repentance is turning away. A change of heart and a change of brain, according to the Greek. And the only way that can happen is not through your own strength, through the Holy Spirit that lives within you, that helps you turn away from your wicked ways to then be fully in Christ.
It's a nice opportunity to not go somewhere now to see a pastor, see someone speak. I'm going to see so and so. He's just coming to
Oh my gosh! Oh, I felt that. Oh my gosh! Yes.
I was trying to poke something.
That was so good. Exactly. Oh my gosh! They're not coming to see any of us.
Yeah.
They don't even know who's there.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
coming to see Jesus
Yeah.
Christ,
Yeah.
Chester. Oh my gosh! That was.
Ow.
Sorry. That was. Oh my gosh! That was beautiful.
And that's what it really is.
Oh
Really
my
that-
gosh.
It's really that free worship experience where you don't have to worry about who is around you. I mean, you don't do that in the first place, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it's just like that open feeling where you could just,
Come as you are.
exactly come as you are.
Yeah.
Come as you are.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is because evangelism has been lost in the last 2 decades is we're bringing it back because there's a whole generation that doesn't know Christ. We do school ministry and evangelism. They don't know. They don't know who Jesus is. And it's mind-blowing, and we consider ourselves a Christian nation. So it's a beautiful thing to introduce evangelism for persons to, for lack of a better words, practice, and to share the gospel, the one thing that can truly change a life.
But just to get back to, we come in from, we're going down the road to some music. Usually you have a DJ playing some
Yes.
music. You didn't mention who that is.
Yes, because it's not about us.
Yeah, no. But there will be some music going on.
There will be a DJ, yeah.
all right.
But I will, just because he has been faithful.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
has done every single Jesus March. He's a part of the team. He's a part of the team
Right.
that plans this, and his name's DJ Godson. Everyone knows him.
Yeah, they know.
And so he came down to Grand Bahama, man.
Oh, he did?
And did the Grand Bahama one. I mean, he's literally our big brother. And because we're so grateful for his
Nice.
ministry. Yeah.
Very, very good, very good. I saw we had a call coming in. I'm not sure if that was related to this, but yeah? No? Okay. So remind us again the day, the time, and especially the packages. Like, make sure people to do with those things. And are there certain things that you want, non-perishable kind of stuff?
Yeah, non-perishable. Yeah. So August 16th, Bahamas. See you there to March for Jesus Christ. We're so excited. At 8 a.m., B to R.M. Bailey Park at 8 a.m. Few things you should know. We will have transportation at Montague to transport you back to your cars at R.M. Bailey Park, so you don't have to worry about that. Secondly, we have Jesus March shirts on sale, and that money transparently goes to the work of the organization that puts this on, where we adopt and build orphanages. And so that your shirt sales will go toward that. And you would buy that at 8 a.m. We will have water there, so you don't have to bring anything. We'll have placards there and actual crosses for you to have. And I think that's everything. And in terms of the food packages, rice, pasta, beans, items such as that can last a household for a while, is what we're really asking for, because we just don't want it to be like quick go and eat. No, like we want them to be able to, use it for a while. Yeah.
Cool. Let's take this call then. They must be calling for this. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend Business.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm just listening to your show. I think it's a great idea what they're doing. Love the March for Jesus. But I just want to make one suggestion, because a lot of times when you do the giveaways, I think that the people who really, really need it don't really get it. And I mean, it's a good idea to be giving out as you traveling along. One idea I think it would be is, before you go into these communities, liaise with someone in the community who can identify these people, the most vulnerable, that they can get the things that we are issuing. Because a lot of times people who come and get the people who are most vulnerable, I think sometimes they get shelled.
Okay.
Or they don't get what we're really trying to do. And it's a really good idea, it is. But I think that's one way we can even make it more effective. That's my 5 cents.
Yeah.
Firstly, I have a question. Are you going to come out?
I just heard about it. Well, I'll try my best to come out.
August 16th.
On August 16th?
Correct.
Okay. And what time is it again?
9 a.m., R.M. Bailey Park.
R.M. Bailey Park, and you're marching where?
To Montague Beach.
Okay. All right.
What's your name, sir?
My name, I don't want to say my name.
I just want to be able to greet you when we're on the park to say you actually came.
Let me give you
a surname. Your surname.
Alias. My alias will be on the wall.
There you go.
On the wall. Okay, so from the mic, I'm like, it's on the wall here today.
Yeah, it's on the wall here today.
And secondly, I want to mention, I agree with you wholeheartedly, and exactly the persons who are orchestrating, because we're partnering with the persons in Kemp Road. So we believe in community development and community. So we're not just these foreigners that don't know anything about Kemp Road that are coming in to give food packages. We're all about making relationships and partnering with those that are already doing the work, that know the people. And so that is exactly what's happening. We're doing this because we have partners who have who do community work in Kemp Road. So just to rest assured on that.
Yeah, and let's make sure we have some of them out. Not just they just get the packages and they don't come out and support. Let them come out as well.
Yeah.
Because they don't just need the food, they need Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much for the call.
We'll see you there on the wall.
On the wall. Okay. Bye-bye.
Just look for the person sitting on the wall. This text message says, good morning, Brother Chester and the guests. The March for Jesus will be awesome and glorious, praising Jesus Christ all the way, for we are seeking a righteous government for the Bahamas. Blessings always. Mayor of Grand Bahama, Mr. Rudolph C. Stubbs. Selah. You got that name there.
Okay.
All right. That's the show. Final word, guys, on this.
I think it's just gonna be a great march.
Yeah.
Just like you said earlier, there's persons with strollers with kids out there bringing their kids out. So, and then I know a lot of Bahamians right now are just worried about. I mean, not even worried. It's just that heat out there. Most Bahamians would say like that heat ain't really playing. But I mean, we have water trucks all along the way of the march. We'll be giving out waters and stuff like that. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem. It's starting to cool down now anyway. So I think it should still be a very good turnout. And so that's just encouraging people to still come out despite, maybe having that slight 1 or 2 heat.
Yeah.
Little heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, I just challenge the leaders to come out. I challenge the pastor out. I challenge the political leaders to come out. I challenge the business owners to come out. We talk all the time about, creating a better Bahamas, but it starts from the foundation, and our foundation should be on and built on Jesus Christ. And I think what a better way to create a better Bahamas than to do exactly what he told us to do, to repent, humble ourselves, turn from our wicked ways, and then he will heal the land. But I challenge you leaders to join us. Show us young people that you do care, that you will march alongside us for something that God has put into our hearts to do, to make the Bahamas a better Bahamas. We love you guys so much. We love you guys. We love you guys. And just know that Jesus loves you guys so much more.
That's our show for this morning, Morning Blend Business. I'm Chester Robards, filling in for Dwight Strachan. Beijing Rogers was my guest today, my co-host.
And I'm Beijing Rogers.
And Michael Maycock, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having
me. Appreciate you. And show up for the Jesus March and be represented. I will be back with you. Have a great day. God bless all of you. On the Clock with Aaron Green is up next.
Thank you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.